Hold on to your hats, Canadiens fans, because what I'm about to tell you might just make you spit out your poutine. Can you believe that in the storied, often bitter, and always intense rivalry between the Montreal Canadiens and the Boston Bruins, a legitimate player trade could actually be on the horizon? My gut tells me no. My brain says it's almost unthinkable, but the whispers from the hockey world are growing louder, and they're suggesting something truly unprecedented. Are we truly on the cusp of witnessing a player swap between the two most iconic rivals in NHL history, all in the pursuit of finally filling that gaping hole at second-line center? For decades, the very notion of a player trade between Canadiens and the Bruins has been as rare as a quiet night in the Bell Center during a playoff game. It just doesn't happen. These are two franchises steeped in a rivalry so deep, so visceral, that even a simple draft pick swap feels like a diplomatic summit. Indeed, this past offseason, we saw a minor exchange of draft selections, a mere formality that involved no actual players or prospects. But to find a true, honest-to-goodness player trade, you have to rewind all the way back to 2001. That's how ingrained the animosity is, how sacred the lines are drawn between these two original six titans. Yet, here we are, staring down a proposal that could shatter that long-standing tradition and potentially reshape the Canadiens' future. The driving force behind this audacious idea, from Montreal's perspective, is a familiar refrain: the desperate need for a bona fide second-line center. It's a void that has plagued this team for what feels like an eternity, a missing piece that could unlock so much offensive potential and provide crucial depth down the middle. And according to some in the know, the Boston Bruins might just possess a player who fits that exact description: Pavel Zacha. Caleb Kearney of Heavy Sports recently threw a grenade into the NHL rumor mill, proposing a trade that would see the Canadiens acquire Zacha in exchange for a package, including our very own sheriff, Arber Xhekaj, and promising prospect Oliver Kapanen. Let that sink in for a moment. Arber Xhekaj, the undrafted powerhouse, the physical marvel who'd become a fan favorite and a symbol of the Canadiens' grit, potentially heading to Boston. And in return, we get a 28-year-old center from them. The mere thought is enough to send shivers down your spine, a mix of excitement for potential gain and a pang of dread at the thought of losing a player who embodies so much of what we love about this team. Let's break down this proposed blockbuster, piece by agonizing piece. The Canadiens, in this scenario, would finally land their coveted second-line pivot in Pavel Zacha. At 6 feet 3 inches and 208 pounds, Zacha brings size, skill, and a proven track record of NHL production. Originally drafted 6th overall by the New Jersey Devils in 2015, he's found a solid home in Boston, where he's just completed his 3rd season, tallying a respectable 47 points in 82 games. He's a player who can contribute offensively, drive play, and provide the kind of two-way presence that a second-line center demands. He's also under contract for 2 more years, carrying a manageable cap hit from a 4-year, $19 million extension he signed in 2023. For a team like the Canadiens, desperately seeking stability and scoring depth down the middle, Zacha represents a significant upgrade, a player who could immediately step into that crucial role and elevate the entire forward group. But, as always, there's a cost, and this one hits particularly close to home. To acquire Zacha, the Canadiens will reportedly part with Arber Xhekaj and Oliver Kapanen. We've talked about Xhekaj before, and his impact on this team is undeniable. An undrafted success story. The 24-year-old defenseman has quickly carved out a niche as one of the league's most physical players. His 6 feet 4 inches, 240-pound frame, coupled with his willingness to engage in the rough stuff, makes him a formidable presence on the ice. Last season, he recorded 6 points and an astonishing 118 penalty minutes in 165 regular season games. He's a player who brings an edge, who makes opponents think twice about entering the Canadian zone, and who consistently ignites the crowd with his ferocious hits and occasional fisticuffs. Losing him, especially to the Bruins, would be a bitter pill for many fans. He's entering the final year of his 2-year, $2.6 million extension, making him an attractive asset for a team looking for a cost-controlled, impactful defenseman. Then there's Oliver Kapanen, a prospect who might not be as widely known as Xhekaj, but represents valuable future potential. Kapanen, a Finnish center, has been developing steadily in Europe and is seen as a promising talent who could eventually make an impact in the NHL. Including him in the deal adds another layer of future value for the Bruins, giving them both an immediate, physical defenseman and a developing prospect. From Boston's perspective, this trade makes a certain kind of sense. Despite the rivalry, they would be acquiring a young, physical defenseman in Chicago who could immediately step into their lineup and provide a versatile, hard-nosed presence. His style of play aligns well with the traditional Bruins hockey identity, and his contract situation offers team control. Kapanen add another piece to their prospect pool, bolstering their organizational depth. It's a move that addresses their defensive needs and adds to their future, all while shedding a veteran forward. So, on paper, the proposed trade offers a clear benefit to both sides. The Canadiens get their much-needed second-line center, and the Bruins acquire a valuable young defenseman and a prospect. It's a transaction that could significantly impact the trajectory of both franchises, addressing key areas of need. However, and this is where the excitement must be tempered with a dose of reality, there's a crucial question hanging over this entire proposal. Is Pavel Zacha actually available? According to Jimmy Murphy of RG Media, while the Canadiens have indeed expressed interest in Zacha, the Boston Bruins are reportedly not looking to move him at this moment. This is a significant detail, one that pulls us back from the brink of potential trade and into the realm of cautious speculation. Murphy's sources suggest that Boston's performance in the early months of the upcoming 2025-26 season will be the deciding factor in Zacha's future, as well as that of several other veteran players on their roster. This adds a fascinating layer of intrigue to the situation. The Bruins are at a crossroads, trying to determine if last season's performance was merely an anomaly or a sign of a new, more challenging era for the franchise. Their management is undoubtedly scrutinizing every player, every contract, and every potential move as they navigate this uncertain period. If the Bruins struggle out of the gate, then perhaps Zacha, along with other veterans, could indeed become available. But if they find their stride and perform well, then the likelihood of them moving productive, established center like Zacha diminishes considerably. So, while the idea of a Canadiens Bruins player trade is almost too wild to believe, and the thought of acquiring a player like Pavel Zacha to finally fill that second-line center role is incredibly enticing, we must remain grounded. The interest from Montreal is there, the proposed package is intriguing, but the crucial piece of the puzzle, Boston's willingness to deal, is currently missing. This is a done deal, not by a long shot. It's a tantalizing what-if, a strategic chess move that could, under the right circumstances, become a reality. But for now, it remains a testament to the ever-evolving landscape of the NHL, where even the most sacred rivalries can sometimes give way to the relentless pursuit of improvement. What are your thoughts on this potential, albeit highly improbable, trade Canadiens fans? Would you be willing to part with Arber Xhekaj and Oliver Kapanen to finally get a top-6 center like Pavel Zacha, even if it means dealing with the Bruins? Let us know your take in the comments below. And if you're as shocked and intrigued by this rumor as we are, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all the latest Canadiens news and analysis. Your support helps us keep these crucial conversations going.